After fixing my boat from this to this, last week I sailed about 200 nautical miles from Grenada to Martinique, where I was planning to do some more repairs. But then Sam Holmes showed up and everything changed, and we decided to go on a long trip together, visiting 3 countries. Since we both have been a solo sailor for a very long time, not always, but definitely on longer passages and for a long time, I thought it might be a fun idea if we answer some of the frequently asked questions. Before starting the exploration journey, the first thing we're going to do is laundry. Nothing of this trip was planned. Everything was just decided day by day. And I'm going to weave it together with the interview we did. I really hope it gets all the fiberglass dust out from the construction. We're going to rent a car and then going to drive to the capital. And now you have to get a croissant when you're in Martinique. It's the first thing you got to do. Oh yeah! So, when we were doing laundry, I was like, dude, should rent a car and drive around the island here. Because, you know, I really enjoyed it so much in these islands. Do that, you get to see so much. But Sam's a bit in a rush. So we're like, oh yeah, when we're waiting for the dryer, let's rent a car. Spontaneous. There we go. Nature. I miss nature so much during the construction of the boat.
Oh,
I thought you wanted to say something.
It's good to be out of your editing cave.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It was unplanned. I really was planning to sit on the computer for the next another 2 weeks or something, but I miss nature.
It's good to get off the boat and see Martinique.
Why do you live on a boat?
Why do I live on a boat?
We didn't do the introduction. I mean, like...
I'm Sam.
Yeah.
Sam Home Sailing. And that's my boat, Pickled Herring.
And
See it on the camera? Yeah.
I sail the Caribbean on my 50-year-old 30-foot monohull for the last 3 seasons, like literally almost everywhere. And I bought a hurricane damaged catamaran about 5 months ago. And now I'm living on a catamaran.
This thing is awesome.
I know, I really love it.
I want one. I'm on the hunt.
And you?
Sweet. I'm on my 28-foot Cape Dory, and I guess on this boat I sailed across the Atlantic from the US. I did Northern Europe and then the Mediterranean, a little bit of West Africa, and I just got to the Caribbean a couple weeks ago. So you're the expert. Later I'm going to ask you about all the anchorages.
Yeah, 6 months.
I guess that's why I'm living on the boat, because it'd be really expensive to try to like travel like this and get like hotels or I don't know. I kind of like it's like shorter term, you know, like I'm staying in one place here, you know, it's not worth getting an apartment. How about you?
I live on a boat because... Why do I live on a boat? I live on a boat because I don't really like neighbors. And if I don't like my neighbors, I can put up anchor and just go away.
Yeah, unless they put their anchor right on top.
Oh yeah, that happens too. I just really like to wake up and see the ocean.
Yeah.
Get up, go out, and there's something magical about it. But yeah, it's the adventure, and like there are a lot of places where it's cheap to go to by boat, but very expensive to fly. Like in the Caribbean, it's very expensive to fly from island to island.
Yeah, and like certain places in the Mediterranean, like it's like you can put your boat right up to like a city, you know, downtown area if it has waterfront. Yeah. I anchored right next to the Statue of Liberty when I was in New York, you know, and then I snuck into some little creek and dinghy to shore, and it's like, oh my gosh, I could never afford to. I'd be in some slum
right.
if I was. Well, a boat kind of is a little bit of a slum, but if you got a boat like this, you could have a nice little condo with you wherever you go, and you're just like on your boat. It feels so like surreal, like because you're used to not being in a boat like a place like that. You got huge skyscrapers. And then you just go right up and you can go right by the Statue of Liberty, and we anchored at night, and it's like we had it all to ourselves. It's like, who gets that experience? It's kind of the unique experience, right? That's another reason to live on a boat.
you got to put up with all the fixing of the boat.
Yeah.
Because that's a big part of it.
You gotta earn it, right? It's a lot of work. You just spent 6 months in a boatyard. Like,
yeah, it was pretty hard.
But then, like on the flip side, like how much more like worthwhile is it when you actually get to, you know, be here where we are now?
Yeah, it felt really surreal when motoring out of the boatyard. That was like, honestly, it was as if I've never been in prison, but I'd imagine like you coming out of prison after 6 months. That's kind of how it felt like.
Fiberglass prison.
We've arrived in Fort de France. Gonna do a little quick tour of Fort de France. I'm still gonna try to make it today, otherwise all the way to Anskeleuve on the other side of the island. I've anchored here many times before, and I think it's so cool because, you know, you're in front of the big city. We get to the street in Martinique that has all the nice food and coffee places in one street. Most of it is still closed.
It's a lot of fun.
There he goes. A lot of nice, beautiful old buildings here in Martinique.
Just for the people walking around.
Gonna make a quick stop in the Sculpture Museum. That's one of the things I think is really cool to see if you're here. We're just gonna make a full circle, continue driving. Sculpture Museum. These are exhibitions, they're not really part of the museum. Alright, viewpoint of the Fort de France Bay. Next stop, another boulangerie, which is like 1 minute distance from the beach. Showing Sam the school lounge bar here. I actually was here when my parents were visiting here in Martinique. It's really cool. You rent it for a day. You have your own private table on the bottom and your bed on top. Saint-Pierre. I love this place. Such a beautiful view. Stopping at a viewpoint of the anchorage of Saint-Pierre. Next up is going to be Anskeleuve, one of my other favorite places in Martinique. It's a beautiful area. Super narrow for the amount of tourist cars that come here, but fun, and a 5-minute walk to a beautiful beach with volcanic sand. What boat do you have, and are you happy with your boat?
I'm on Cape Dory 28.
Yeah.
So that's the Alberg design, like your old boat, right?
Yeah, so my old boat was an Alberg 30, and they're both designed by the same designer. Yeah, they're very similar.
The size is probably similar. Maybe yours might have been a little narrower, right? Like,
yeah, a little narrow, a little longer. A little longer, but yeah.
But I mean, it's if you want a full keel boat. I mean, I think the Cape Dories are good. You know, like what else are you gonna get that would be like a full keel, but they can just run aground and like careen it on a beach. You know, like there are some advantages to that. And it's you know much more affordable.
I think it'd be nice to talk about like a few sailing myths.
Yeah. Like
when I bought my boat, I read this interview of a guy who sailed his boat around the world, and he wrote down like, if I would sail around the world again, I would do it on the same boat. Okay. And that really also convinced me, like, you know, of course, also the other choice was I was really on a real budget. And there are a lot of people who tell you, like, oh, those 50-year-old boats, they're so much stronger than the newer boats.
Yeah.
And it kind of made me believe that I should buy an older boat because it was better. And what I've kind of gotten to learn after crewing across the Pacific and sailing for so long time, that like there's really also a lot better things in newer boats.
I know, yeah, like the designs have come a long way, you know?
It's not like the old boats.
The old boats were so thick because they didn't have, you know, modern, like, laminates and epoxies and things, or like higher quality resins and engineering, you know, where they could make them.
Yeah.
And then even then, like the thickness of the glass on my boat is
really not
actually
that thick,
it's very
you know?
thick. Like,
It's
I know
like this. I thought it would be like this.
In some areas, like, but I think that's only like, you know, just because it's doubled up in a few places. But I don't think. Yeah, I agree with you. You know.
And there's so much more space in newer boats.
Yeah, like for us, the same water or length or overall, like
three times
it's like
space.
twice as big. Yeah, three times. Yeah, it's incredible. Like how much they can fit.
There are things like there are a lot of newer boats. I mean, there are a lot of videos made about that are made more for coastal cruising because they, for example, don't have the rudder protected. So there are there's a difference in that.
But like the fin keels, where if you hit them, they're more likely to do much more structural damage. That's another.
But there are a lot of newer boats that are really good to like sail around the world and be like way more comfortable.
Yeah. You can get a new Halberg Rassi on it.
Yeah.
That should hold up
exactly
for world cruising. And plenty of other, you know, nice brands like that.
I think it's, if you're on a really, really tight, small budget, you can buy a really strong boat, but you have to be a certain person because you have to be willing to put up with discomfort.
Yeah.
But you're still doing it.
Well, yeah, but I take the winters off. I do like 6 months on the time, and then I take the winter off. You know, so and I kind of have to do that. I feel like. I mean, so much respect to the people that just do it full time, like living on it. I'm burned out, you know. But then when I'm on shore, then I get like, you know, like I get stoked about it again at the, you know, beginning of spring or whatever when I'm ready to start. But I don't know, like that's a trade-off. Like I think it's gonna work great if you just have, you know, want to do it for a few trips, you know, or like learn how to sail, like live on it for a while. That's fine, you know. But yeah, I don't think I'm built for the full time on that kind of boat.
Also, I feel like, I mean, it's mostly men who start the solo sailing thing.
Yeah.
And if we talk about girlfriends, assuming you don't always want to stay alone, there's a whole lot less possibilities on a 30-foot, 28-foot boat than on like a catamaran like this, you know. And that is because of the, not just because of the discomfort, but it's because of the mental space. There's one person can sit outside in front of the boat, and the other one inside. You still feel like you're sitting next to each other emotionally, and you know.
Yeah, there's not really separate spaces. Like.
So it's possible.
Yeah.
I did it, but it's not easy. Right, that's a wrap. Next stop, rum factory.
Yeah, my favorite.
Can't leave Martinique without going to a rum factory. Habitation Clément. I really like this rum factory. It starts off with this really beautiful walk.
Yeah, this is amazing. Think of like sculptures in a pond.
That's stunning. These are the same ones, you can smell it, and there's like flavors they put in rum. We're doing a guess game.
That's vanilla, I think.
Vanilla?
No, dried fruit.
Dried fruit, okay. Next one.
One yet. Right.
That's flowers, something flowers.
Fruity.
Exotic fruit bouquet, okay, that was a good one. Next one. This is like toilet flavor. Must be like, what is it?
This one, say this one's flower.
Well, toilet, the thing you put in toilet is flowers, like the purple flower.
Lime.
Oh, okay.
So bad. I thought this was lime. This is citrusy.
Citrusy?
Maybe like orange or...
I think it's toilet flavor too, citrus toilet flavor. Herbal tea. Okay.
These are mixed up. This smells like an airplane, like a scent or something.
I think these are flowers.
They all smell like perfumes, you know, like they're all fake.
Right, perfume
orange.
flowers. Orange, that's pretty good. We have one correct. This is Vanilla.
But that one was vanilla. It could be vanilla. Sugarcane.
Sugarcane. Okay, so I think we'll give up. We're very bad at this. Sailing has decreased our nose.
It has to be in a rum for me to really taste it. Let's go to the next drink.
Okay, we're getting to the fun part. Cheers.
Cheers.
This is nice.
Yep. So I smell the bubble gum, the toilet, and the lime in this one.
Okay.
A little bit of the coffee.
Yeah, totally agree.
I'm so glad I strained my nose. Like, it's just a whole different experience now.
How do you sleep at night?
I sleep. Some of the best sleep I get is on the boat. I was saying, like, I like when it's going really fast and like I can hear the water rushing. I don't know, something about like it's the way the boat moves.
Okay.
Rocks me to sleep. I don't sleep when I'm going downwind and just like swinging. If I have to use muscles to like stabilize my body and I'm sliding, that's hard to sleep. I mean, enough days of it and I'll sleep eventually. But like single-handing, like watch schedule. If I'm near shore, like if there's fishing boats around, I can see them like lights. I'll pop my head up every 15-20 minutes, and then go right back to sleep. Sometimes I'll set a timer, or I'll use a geofence alarm on my phone if I'm gonna get too close to land. But then further offshore, a couple hundred miles, I just sleep through the night if I can. Unfortunately, on my boat right now, my cushions are getting like the flattening out. Yeah, so I'm just like, I'm so sore in the morning. I can't sleep past like 3 or 4 a.m. It sucks. You've got a real mattress.
I do.
Yeah.
But I had it in a 30-foot boat too, a real mattress.
How are you sleeping on this boat compared to your last one?
Wait, let me do before I forget it. I cannot sleep the first night on my solo sailing passages, and then the second night, in the beginning I barely couldn't, and then I fell asleep like a little bit. I always put an alarm every 20 minutes. You wake up, look outside, go back to bed, and then the third night you just can't. You have to sleep. Yeah, so your body's taking over.
Sleep, yeah.
I don't like living on a catamaran compared to. It's just, this is so amazing.
Yeah.
Like
the anchorage is different too, right? It's like you're not rolling.
Yeah, like this is like the most. We're here a bit in a.
I'm tolerant of the rolling now because I just did the Atlantic crossing, so it's like any anchorage I've been in so far has been better than that. But yeah, sometimes that can get annoying.
It's just like a comparison is not really fair to say. I cannot say what's the difference between a monohull and a catamaran because I go from a 30-foot monohull to a 40-foot catamaran, and like there's also a big difference between a 30-foot mono and a 40.
Right.
But a 40 monohull still rolls on anchorage. And for me, why this is so amazing is that we both make YouTube videos, and I always dreamed about doing everything with a view. And now it is, because if I add it inside, if it rains or just in general, then I can still see the ocean. Like I feel like I'm always getting the experience, unless when I'm sleeping downstairs. But in a monohull, like even on $1 million monohull, you're always like in a cave. And especially if you spend a lot of time on the computer. But everybody, like, I feel like a monohull, nobody lives outside. Everybody lives inside, because that's where you're living.
You gotta get out of the sun, and also like it's more comfortable than the boat down low usually.
You got all your stuff there.
You got you're not gonna bring everything up. My cockpit is so uncomfortable in that boat. Also, like the combings are like this high, so like there's a dream. You have your little bimini. You're like, I'm gonna sit outside, and then 2 minutes later you just end up back down below. Like on this thing, on the other hand, you got your panoramic view all around you. So it's been so amazing.
I compare now I compare like my previous boat, which was a $10,000 to $20,000 boat, to this, which is a $150,000 to $200,000 boat. So just obviously a range difference, but it's so comfortable. Like just having a separate bedroom and a separate toilet and big fridges and freezer and just a TV, and it's like I feel like I live in a house. I feel like if it's shit weather for a week, I'd still be happy. While that was more hard on a small monohull.
You're just going insane if it's just pouring down rain, or like.
But I couldn't stand up.
You can't. Oh no. Yeah.
But like great boats to start with, especially if you're really on a budget. I'd say, you know, you can ram it against everything, a full keel boat.
You can make mistakes. You can run over like traps and stuff, and that usually doesn't catch your propeller if you're going forwards, or just slides right off the bottom. Like I ran at the back of I think I had kind of maybe made contact with a fishing boat because I fell asleep.
Okay.
And then I had to turn in and I had to go over his net, you know. And if it was like a long keel boat with a ball, like you know, if it was any other boat, it would have just caught on the net for sure. And it just slid right over this huge fish, you know. Nice. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't get tangled up with those Tunisian fishing boats.
Yeah, no, really. Oh yeah, this was not the plan at all. What I'm doing now is planning here to stay here till all the videos are finished of the build, and then do some boat repairs. But last night was really fun, and Sam convinced me to join him. I'm like, what's more fun, staying here alone or go on an adventure? Let's go on an adventure. And it's so easy with a catamaran to just put one engine reverse, one forward, and just like rotate on the spot. Like, it's so much easier than with a monohull. Ah, Sam is off. I'll just go behind you and I'll just follow your speed.
Okay.
Oh, do it again?
Alright, so autopilot's on. Get a little closer and we'll jump over. We're gonna have a rum.
Yeah, let's do that in the channel. That sounds like a great idea.
I think we're lined up. As long as this thing behaves, we're good.
Okay, I think it'll work. I've seen a lot of Martinique, but I've never been to the east side of Martinique with the boat, and it's super quiet today. So we're going to the east side. This is the west side of Martinique, where it's wind protected here, and we're going now to the east side between these reefs over here. You have it all. You're crazy. Now I'm going to enter the reef area, and I took the head sail in because otherwise I don't see half of what's in front of me, and it's still such a new boat to me. I don't see any reason to take a big risk inside a reef area and not being able to see half of the view, you know. So I'm just going in under engine. I still have the mainsail up. Almost there. Gonna anchor around that reef. This is where I'm coming up to. That reef here is, I don't know if you see it over there. What are your favorite destinations to sail to?
Like Hawaii was one of my favorite.
Do you think that was because that was your first?
Maybe it was a really different place to sail compared to where Southern California. Right. Also, it was like after a big passage, so it's like, I don't know, you kind of like anywhere that was land.
It would be amazing, right?
Cool. I kind of felt the same way about what I got to hear, right?
Yeah.
Or Barbados.
I bet.
Yeah. What else? I mean, sailing to New York like before, that was cool. Where else has been? Like the Florida Keys, Keys have been fun. Like
yeah.
that kind of reef-line on the outside. The Mediterranean. I mean, I went up the Gambia River. That was kind of like.
I just watched your
different.
Gambia video,
Yeah.
and that looked like a pretty sketchy area to be in.
yeah, some parts of that.
Fire everywhere, and like.
Oh, the car, yeah.
I don't know. Seems like a place where you might be constantly scared to get robbed.
Yeah. You kind of like on edge. I didn't get robbed, but.
Was it a place where the likely is to happen? Or?
I don't know. Like, the reports didn't seem that bad about the area, but I mean, I think just using common sense was the key. I locked my boat up, all the time. So
yeah,
hasn't happened yet, but it's always possible, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten robbed?
No.
Sailing?
No. Like I do lock the boat up. I always lock the dinghy, but it never happened. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really happen that much in the Caribbean. It happens, but like if you look at the amount of people there are with boats.
Really, yeah. You read a lot about reports of it at certain areas sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I read a lot, just over and over reports, I'll just put the boat in a marina at a spot like that maybe because, I mean, my boat's not very expensive to put in a marina.
Right.
That's another advantage of the monohull. I can put my boat in the.
Still don't want to go back.
$30 was all it cost me in St. Lucia.
My favorite destinations to sail to. It was very special when I was a crew member to sail to the Marquesas Islands because it's so remote and it's in the middle of the Pacific, and you feel like you're going a couple hundred years back in time. Mm-hmm. It's like coming in a movie with all these people with tattoos, and it was so special, so different. That, and I mean, I know it's cliche, but I love the Bahamas. So beautiful, blue water. And
I love to go. I want to go to both those places eventually. That sounds pretty cool.
Bahamas is amazing. I understand why people.
What do you like about it?
Just like it's all short distances. So you you have breakfast, you pull up anchor, and you're in this beautiful blue water and 10 feet deep, and you go to the next place. It's like an hour sail, and then you drop anchor and you have lunch or dinner. It's a couple hours sail maybe. Mm-hmm. It's just so easy, and every time you get to this different, beautiful place, where many like sailing the East Caribbean, but even much more once you start crossing the Pacific, suddenly you get into like every time you go, you have to sail a couple of days in a row to get to a new place, and that's pretty exhausting. You know? So then, like being for a while in a place where it's like easier.
You have to check in between islands too, I guess. It's all a big area you can sail through.
And then also Mexico, because that was really like the first place I sailed to, and I think your first place is always like the one you remember,
Yeah.
Let's go check it out!
I hate it. It seems like I was never gonna get here.
It's too shallow here. Yeah?
Yeah, it's anchored here, I guess.
Anchors out!
Yeah.
This is awesome. Let's take a moment to thank all of you guys for watching, and a special thanks to all of the patrons who really make it possible that I can make these videos. And the upper tier patrons are on the wall of the boat. It's crappy weather today. On the good side, I've been catching so much water. Anyway, so we are doing an edit morning. We're gonna have a pause editing. I'm going up the mast to see if I can fix my anchor lights.
I'm gonna winch him up. I'll try not to drop him.
It's actually like the worst day ever to go up the mast because it's a bit like choppy here. And it's the first time it's been like this, and all the other days were quiet. But now we're together, so let's do it anyway. Alright. Yeah, I can come down. I'm taking it down. Because I don't think I can fix it here. Because there's supposed to be plastic around this, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's not supposed. I can put a light in it, but then.
Get a new fixture.
So the hurricane must have destroyed this plastic, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
But it's a cool system. It's just pins on the bottom, so you can just actually replace the whole thing. This one too. It's not wires. Normally, last time I was I was putting wires on the mast, and it's really hard because you do the connection, and you have to like you have to take fire upstairs or a heat gun or something, you know.
Your crimpers, your wire cutters, and everything.
But these things, I can just order them, and this is one of those 3 the hurricane blew off. That's gonna be, I just need to get a place to buy them. That's not even a hard fix. Well, now I don't have a wind arrow anymore. I have to use a ribbon.
Oh. Okay.
Oh yeah, we're gonna...
Catamaran's motor everywhere anyway.
Oh. There are quite a lot of islands here with houses on there, and we're gonna explore one of them. Not sure which one, but that one at the end looks cool. There's a nice one over there. So this is where the party's at. Turns out, like half a mile away from where the boat is this bar restaurant thing. I thought where was the music coming from in the night? I thought it was from the boats.
Yeah, I was like, what? Boats
Sorry, what do you say?
I was thinking, why are these boats playing music, you know, over here so loud?
Yeah. I'm going wing foiling with Sam. He has that. I've never done that before, but I want to learn those things. Casa de Sam. Look at that. Oh, this looks so similar to my Elberg.
I lost the wind. Not going off the point. You're going upwind faster than me now. You got it.
Right direction.
Yeah. 1,000% better than 10 minutes ago. You're standing up. All right, I think he's getting it.
Okay, well, let's just say I still need a bit of practice, but it was fun. That was so cool. Like, wow. Why have I never had that equipment before? I need that too. I'm gonna buy something like that. We had crackers as starters with cheese and sausage, and you cannot see it, but it's vegetables and egg.
Yeah.
The video was getting a bit long, so I decided to split it in half. Join us next week as we sail to and explore Dominica, and as we sail to and explore Guadeloupe. And of course, as we continue answering the other 5 most asked questions. If there are certain questions that you have in mind that you would like to ask us in the future, write it in the comments.